Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to start our new chapter, that is chapter number 9, Cloud Computing and IoT. This chapter has two parts. One is cloud computing and one is IoT. So we'll discuss them one by one. First, we are going to understand what is cloud computing. See, right now, when we are using a computer or a mobile phone, our photos, our videos, our files are saved in our mobile phone or laptop. That is, on site means at the same place in our hardware we have our files saved. That is in house hardware having all the files, images, videos. But nowadays we are saving our files, our videos, our photos on the internet. So this place on the internet is actually called cloud. So space on the server over the internet is actually cloud. So what is cloud computing? The practice of delivering computer services. So many computer services are delivered through the internet, and these services are called cloud services, cloud computing services. So many computer services, if they are provided through internet, through a server space, that is cloud, is called cloud computing. So what are those computer services which are provided? Server. We know what is server. Server is a big computer with big computational power, with big memory, and they actually save our files. They serve all the computers. So multiple computers all over the world are connected to these big computers called server. Storage is also provided. We can store our files, photos and videos on the internet. Database means files in the form of table, like your database of your marks is saved on the cloud in school tree. Networking services are also provided, means connection of computers and mobile phones. Software services, we can use software online also. Analytics, information about data. Intelligence means AI, artificial intelligence based software. Over the internet, these are provided, and this is called cloud computing. One example of storage on cloud or on internet is Google Drive. We all use Google Drive for saving our photos, videos online. So many hardware, network, storage devices, so many interface means user interface, how we connect to them, how we interact with them. We interact through interface. For example, you want to open an app in your mobile phone, so you touch the app. That is interface. You interact with the interface. So a set of hardware like memory devices, network, so many wires, storage, interfaces, and services are delivered. Different aspects of computing are given as a service over network, and that is called cloud. So cloud doesn't means that cloud which is in the sky. Here cloud actually is used as a metaphor, no real meaning. Here you can see in the photo, cloud computing, you can store anything. Suppose you have laptop, you have phone, you have tablet, you have desktop, and all of the services that you are using is actually not in your laptop, not in your phone, not in your tablet, not your desktop. All of these services, information, photos, videos are somewhere else on the internet, and that is our cloud. Previously we were using traditional methods of sharing audio, video, photograph, where we had to copy them, copy the audio MP3, video MP4, photograph in a pen drive, then we were giving the pen drive to someone. So these methods have become a past, old method with the advent of cloud. Now we don't need to save our photos and videos in a pen drive or CD and then supply it to someone in Patna. We can directly upload it on the cloud, means on the internet, and they can get it from there. So cloud has made checking photograph, album, updated status, that we update on WhatsApp or Facebook our status. Just now I will update and that will be visible to all the users all over the world because I have updated on the internet. That is instantly possible. There is one thing that should be our mind. Once a data is uploaded on the cloud, means once you upload a data on the internet, it remains there forever, even if you delete it from your device. So you need to be careful when you are uploading your data on the cloud or on the internet. It should not be your private data, private photo, private video, because if you delete it also, then also it remains there. What is the use of cloud computing? It is used for taking backup. Suppose we have some important files in our mobile phone and might be mobile phone can get stolen. So these files we can save in Google Drive or OneDrive or any other cloud storages, so that if it is lost, then we can retrieve it from there. So we can recover our data, important data which we have taken as backup. We can stream audio and videos. All the audio and video that we stream on our mobile phone or laptop are actually saved on the cloud, means internet server, and from there we access it. For example, YouTube also saves all the videos on its servers, and that is cloud. We can create cloud native applications also, app that we can create on the cloud only. When we create apps has two part. One is front end and one is back end. For example, your school tree app. Front end is what is seen by you. You can just click on any part of the app and you can access different things. You can access your marks, your records, everything. That is front end. But at the back end, these data are saved in the form of table. So that is back end. So at the back side, whatever is happening at the back side, you don't know. You only see the front side, that is front end. So when we create cloud native applications, we need to only work on the front end. No need to worry about the back end. Back end is totally managed by the cloud. So you don't need to see how many files are needed, how many tables you need to create. Everything will be done by the cloud. For testing application, suppose I have built an app, suppose Android app. So I want to test how the app is working. Before selling it on Google Play Store, I can test it. We usually build app also on cloud so that we can have a real-time experience of how the app is working. We can analyze data also on cloud. A large amount of data is there. We can use different software on the cloud to analyze our data. Suppose my Excel data of the past records of the students, we can analyze using cloud services, cloud softwares, and we can get an insight about the records of the students, how they are performing. We can use AI also, embedding intelligence, and we can sell our softwares also online. Previously, when we had to buy any software, we had to go to the shop, buy the CD, install the CD, then we had serial key, then we had to put the serial key, then the software was installed in our computers. Nowadays we don't do that. We just download the software from the internet, means from cloud. So for delivering software online also, we use cloud computing. So these are so many uses of cloud computing. Now we are going to have a basic knowledge about the history of cloud computing, how it all started, and where we are now. In the year 1960s, previously only one person was able to use one computer. Means a stand-alone computer was used by one person at a time. But in 1960s, time sharing was introduced by the computer scientist John McCarthy. Means now a single computer can be used by multiple users. Here you can see in the photo, this is a single computer and multiple users are using the same computer at the same time. Means at the same time, at the same real time, you can use same computer with multiple user. So now a mainframe computer, it was a big computer, mainframe computer, now can be simultaneously used by several systems. For example, here you can see a single mainframe computer is used by multiple devices. So now multiple users can use the same computer. And this was the beginning of internet and cloud computing. Because now a single computer, a big computer, can work as server, and this server will serve multiple computers at the same time. For example, right now I am accessing suppose server of Zoom. So Zoom has a big server and that server is serving so many computers at the same time because of time sharing. So now servers were used, so it started internet, and internet gave options of cloud computing. Now second breakthrough came in the year 1962 to 1964. See, cloud actually means internet. So we are actually saving anything on the server. So before that we didn't have connection of all the computers all over the world so that we can access them. JCR Licklider. This is a photo of our pioneer JCR Licklider. He put forth the idea of intergalactic computer network, means network of computers all over the US. This is the map of US, and that time all the computers were connected through wire all over the US. You can see this network, it was the network made by him. So to connect everyone in the US, he put forth the idea, and that ARPANET became the base of internet. All the computers all over the world were also connected, and that created the internet. So to connect everyone on the globe and enable them to access data from anywhere at any time. So now suppose any file is saved in US on the internet server, still I am able to access that file because my computer is connected to internet and that server is also connected to internet. So now I can access that file. That server is actually cloud. So when we started connecting computers, then we came with the idea of cloud, space over the internet. Then in 1970, one more breakthrough came. The breakthrough was virtualization software was introduced. Right now, you see I am using Windows 11 on my computer. That time, any user was able to use only one operating system. Now, we can use multiple operating system on the same machine, same computer. I can use, sometimes I can use Unix or Linux. I can use Windows 11 also. I can use multiple operating system at the same time. So now one server was able to use multiple operating system and work with multiple computers at the same time. So more than one operating system could be run simultaneously in an isolated environment, means in a computer. In a single computer, we were able to run more than one operating system at the same time. means Linux also, Unix also, Ubuntu, Windows 11 also, Windows 7 also. At the same time, in the same computer, we are running them. So that helped the servers to serve multiple computers. And this started cloud computing in a better way. Then in the year 1997, one pioneer, Dr. Ramnath Chelappa, he gave the first definition of cloud computing in a conference in Dallas, US. He said that it is a computer paradigm, means it is a type of computer technology where the boundaries of the computing, means what you can do with this computing, will be determined by economic rationale, means it is of no limit, no boundary. The boundaries only depend on the money that you are having. If you can connect all the computers all over India, then you can do so many things. Means there is no boundary in computing. You can do anything. It only determined by depends on economic rationale rather than technical limits. No technical limits are there. No technical limits. If you have the money, you can do anything now because of the cloud computing, means availability of spaces and services over the internet. Then in the year 1999, I told you that when we have to buy any software, we had to go to the shop, then we had to buy the CD, then we had to insert the CD, then CD was having the software, then the software was installed. But when internet came, now the softwares were started to be given online. In the year 1999, Salesforce was the first company that started providing softwares online. Website salesforce.com provided a means of delivering applications software over the internet for the mainstream software providers, means all the companies which were selling software, they were not now able to sell their softwares online using Salesforce. And he is our pioneer, Mark Benioff, who is the founder of Salesforce company, one of the largest IT company in the world. In the year 2006, one more breakthrough came. Amazon, one of the largest company in cloud computing, launched its Elastic Compute Cloud EC2, using which people could access a computer and run their application on the cloud. Using Elastic Compute Cloud, you can easily access any computer on the cloud and you can run your app or software on the cloud. Then they also launched the simple storage services for storing files and photos and videos. And here they came with one idea of introducing the pay as you go model. Means suppose you are using 1 GB, then you have to go for 1 GB only, you have to pay for 1 GB only. If you are using 10 GB, then you have to pay for 10 GB only. Pay as you go model. Pay as much as you use. Suppose right now I am using 5 GB, so I have to pay for 5 GB only. Previously, what was the problem? The problem was that suppose I need to save photos and videos online, and the options were there 10 GB, 30 GB, 50 GB. So I had to buy 30 GB. So now I have about 30 GB. I am only using 5 GB now. So my 25 GB is not used, but still I have to pay for 30 GB. When Amazon came with its service, it said pay as you go, means pay as much as you use. Suppose right now I don't need to save so much of my files, so I'm using only 5 GB. So this month I will be say paying for only 5 GB. Next month I have to save some more photos, I will give pay for 10 GB. As much as I use, suppose I have used some more photos, then I will go for 12 GB. Then I need 12 GB, so I will pay for 12 GB only. Suppose next month I had delete all the photos and I need only 1 GB of space. So next month I'll pay for only 1 GB. And now also users and industries are using this. 2013, The IaaS, infrastructure as a service, became the fastest growing market service of cloud. We'll study about this in later slides also, later part of the chapter. In the year 2014, Amazon Web Services, also known as AWS, one of the largest company in cloud computing and IT, introduced serverless computing. Without servers, you were able to do anything. When we create apps, we totally think about front end and back end both. How much space is needed? Suppose for saving our data means record of the students, their performances, marks obtained, everything. How we will save them in the form of Excel file or in PostgreSQL or SQL. Which type of software we're going to use? We have to think about backend also. Then we have to create the front end, how user will interact, how app will work, how buttons you will create. That is front end. Now, when AWS came, we had to only focus on front end. Back end was maintained by the company AWS. So that is serverless. We don't need to think about server. That thing is done by the company. So now we started working on cloud native computing because now we don't need to think about the backend. So we can just deploy our software on the cloud. Cloud native applications means those applications that were designed to reside in the cloud only from the starting. Okay. So for building our application, for running our application, when we are using cloud means when we're using servers, so that is cloud native computing. The cloud computing technology progressed significantly in the year 2019, and now it is playing an essential role in IT sector, information technology, whole ecosystem. Cloud is now very important. All of the files we are now saving on Google Drive, that is cloud. Cloud is providing softwares online. So many things are available. And this technology is continuing to evolve. So in future generations, we will have some more benefits of cloud computing. Now, before cloud computing, we had traditional web hosting. What is the difference between these two and which one is better? Cloud computing versus traditional web hosting. First of all, we need to know what is hosting. Suppose I want to create a website. Suppose a website of your school. That website contains files, photos, videos, some software also, some link also. So these are not saved in any computer in your school's computer. Okay. So we have saved all of these files on the server in the internet. And whenever someone asks for the website, then all of these photos are downloaded on the browser and then they see this. So every website comprises of files in the form of video, audio, photos, so many files. And these files are stored on server. Server are big computers. These computers are available 24/7, means 24 hours, 7 days in a week. So if you are trying to open my school's website at 12 at night also, the website will open because the server is available. So I have saved these files on server, and server is a computer which is available 24/7. So we need a web host. I have to buy space on the server. GoDaddy, Amazon, so many companies are there. They provide us this service, and this company is called web host. For example, our web host is GoDaddy. Now when the user like us who want to open the website of the school makes a query means they want to open the website with your domain name. They have to write the name of the website, nazratgaya.org. Then the browser like Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, they will retrieve these files that are saved with the domain name of my website from the web host, and they will get the website. Now, hosting can be of two types: traditional web hosting, the old method of web hosting, and second one is cloud hosting. What is the difference between these two? We need to understand. So, we studied that there are two types of hosting. One is traditional web hosting and one is cloud hosting. First of all, we need to see what is traditional web hosting. Means from the starting we are using this web hosting technique. So it can be either dedicated web hosting or shared web hosting. So let's see what is dedicated web hosting. Suppose I have about 10 GB of space on the server, some software to retrieve our files, some databases I have bought. All of these things are only for my website. So whether I am using 2 GB, 3 GB, 4 GB, but I have bought 10 GB. So that is only for me. That is dedicated web hosting. So it is web hosting environment in which the server is totally dedicated to a single business customer with all its resources. Only one single company, single website is owning that server. It is very costly. I am using only 1 GB or 2 GB, and servers mostly come suppose as 10 GB. So I have, if I want to go for only single server, then I have to buy for 10 GB. I am in need of 2 GB only. So extra 8 GB I am paying without any use. That is why most of the people don't go for dedicated web hosting. They go for shared web hosting, where so many websites are using the same server. It is used by small and medium sized businesses because they have low income. They cannot afford a big server space. They share the resources of the server with other websites also. Means multiple websites are using the same server. Now the hosting company which is giving the server manages the units, maintains and updates the server. So whatever is used by the website is also maintained by the company. Now suppose the server is of 10 GB and one company is using 2 GB, one is using 5 GB, one is using 8 GB. Likewise, no, suppose server is of 10 GB. So suppose someone using 2 GB, someone is 3 GB, 4 GB. Then suppose again someone using 1 GB. So suppose four companies are using with different limits. So company will manage and they have to pay according to their usage. It is very cost efficient and no need of any maintenance because the maintenance will be done by the host company. So very low maintenance is required. What is the problem with shared web hosting or traditional web hosting? Suppose my school's website uses 2 GB of server space and it is able to maintain 20 users at the same time on my website. Now suppose school has released the result. Now at the same time we will have hundreds of users using it. So we need a more power, more computational power. So that time there will be a problem. Increase in traffic of website on the server will slow down my website. So my website will not increase its power. The power which I have bought will only be used. One more problem. Suppose my website is basic, no problem. Any other website has more user, then also my website will have problem. Increase in traffic of other website on the server can slow down my website also. If the traffic to our website is increasing, suppose more users are now coming on my website, but it is limited by the amount of storage because I have bought that much only that I own on the server. That will create problem. In case other sites who are also using the server, same server, they face security issue, hacking. So if someone hacks into other website, from that website they can also get my data also, because our data, that website's data, both are on the same place, same server. If the websites are facing some performance issue, it may also bring down my website. Website will not open, it will take so much time to open. These will be the problems. And suppose 10 websites are using the same server and one server fails, all the website will fail. They will not get loaded. So if the server itself undergoes failure, all the sites on it are affected. These are the problems of shared web hosting. So because of these problems, we are now shifting from traditional web hosting, that is either dedicated or shared. We are moving to cloud computing. Why? What are the benefits of cloud hosting? Here, the host, the company which is providing us the server, maintains the hardware. Either you need now a hardware for 10 user, that is also maintained by the company. Suppose tomorrow some more user came and now there are 50 users at the same time. So the hardware which is needed for these 50 users now will also be maintained by the hosting company. The user means the client, means me who is having the website, does not need to invest in the in-house server hardware. You don't need to pay for any extra hardware. They only have to pay for the services they use. Suppose today I am using 2 GB, then I have to pay for 2 GB. Tomorrow, suppose I am using 4 GB, I have to pay for 4 GB. So we only have to pay for the service that we use. One big advantage is scalability. Suppose today we have 10 user, so it will decrease the power of the computer. Tomorrow we have 50 users, it will increase the power of the computer. So cloud hosting services provide scalability. We can increase or decrease the power, increase or decrease the memory according to the usage. Traditional web hosting cannot provide this. Virtual space is provided on demand also. Suppose I need some virtual space today, they'll provide me the service and will pay for it accordingly. So here you do not need to worry about your demand. If your demand increases, the hosting company will increase the power. Demand decrease will decrease the power. And after 1 month, whatever your usage are, it will give you the bill. So you do not need to have any thinking about what will happen. So if your website is having more user also no problem, less user also no problem. Types of cloud services. These can be broadly classified into four categories based on their deployment, means who is the owner, what is the size of the cloud, who can have access, means who can use it. These are public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and community cloud. One by one, we are going to study about these. First of all, public cloud. Clouds owned and operated by third party service provider. Means neither I am owning the cloud, means the server, nor anyone connected with me. There is a company which is providing the cloud service. This company is especially for providing cloud service. That is a third party company, not connected with any one of us. This is only for providing cloud service. The cloud owners also own the software that is used for providing us the file transfer, the basic infrastructure, hardware, everything they own. Nothing is owned by me and I don't have to own. The client means me, the user, accesses and manages the account. So I will be getting one account, online account with the ID and password. I can open the account using a web browser like Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, and I can see how much I am using, how much is needed, everything will be visible to me. So I can access my account. It can be used by anyone and from anywhere over the internet. If you're connected to internet, you can use it anytime, anywhere. Next one is private cloud. Private cloud is not connected to internet. Suppose in our school we have so many smart computers, smart smart boards. All of these smart boards are connected through LAN to a server, means a big computer in our primary section. That is private cloud. Means you can see from here, that is internet. This private cloud is totally private. It is not connected to the internet. No connection. And internet cannot access this cloud. So we are having local LAN connection, local area network connection, and this connection is actually providing this cloud infrastructure. So cloud computing resources which are used by a single organization exclusively for them only. Services, infrastructure are maintained on private network like PAN, personal area network, LAN, local area network. They are not maintained on wide area network, means internet. It may be physically located on the organization's on-site data center, means the server will be in the organization only, means in the school, in the college only, in the university only, the data center is available, not outside the school. Okay, but in some cases it may be hosted by a third party service provider. For example, I don't want to buy server. I asked a company which is providing server. I asked the company to provide me the server only for my school. So that will be a server provided by a third party company. But that doesn't happen mostly. Most of us we buy the server because we want to make it private. We don't want anyone from outside to have access of our data. Decentralization of organizations resources means all the resources, all the files in all the smart boards are all there in the server. So any other smart board can also access it. So we have centralized the resources of the organization. So various departments, various computers can easily access it. Hybrid cloud. It is a combination of public cloud and private cloud. Both we studied before. It uses a technology that makes it possible to share and move data and application between these two clouds. Means if you want to make the data, application, photos, videos private, it will go to private cloud. And suppose you want to put the data in public cloud, you can go for public cloud. So suppose we have about both. In our school, we have both the cloud. Private cloud, we have server, private server also, and public cloud we are also having. So if any file is not that much important, we save it in the public cloud so that anyone from outside can also have access to it. But the files which are very important, we need to make them secure and safe. So we put them in private cloud. So this provides the great flexibility to the company. So we have more deployment options, means we can deploy the files, applications in private cloud also, public cloud also. Suppose my private cloud is full now. I had suppose 50 GB and that is full. So now I can go for public cloud with those files which are not that much important. So it helps the company to optimize the existing infrastructure. Suppose I have the structure of 50 GB, so I can increase it without buying any extra server. So no problem with infrastructure, compliance and security. If I want to make them secure, I'll put in the private cloud. If not that much important, we'll go for the public cloud. Community cloud. It is meant for use by a group of consumers from diverse organizations. Suppose organization number 1, 2, and 3, all these want to have one server, but for them only. That is private for them. So organization 1 is having a server, 2 is also having server, 3 also having server, and all these three servers are connected. So 1 can also access the data of 3, 3 can also access the data of 2. So it means that they are totally open to be shared. Now it can be owned by, managed by, or run by either one organization. Suppose one is having the server, other two are using the server from this organization one, or all three have server, all three servers are connected. Means these three servers are open to all the organization. For example, blood donors club. Suppose there are 100 blood donors clubs in all over Gaya, and they all have their server, small servers of 2 GB. All these servers are connected, so when they need blood they can have these servers, access of these servers, and they can get to know which organization is having how much samples of blood. So this much was there. It is complete.